The knife that doesn't cut Ishmael. Many years had passed, and Ishmael had grown up and become a handsome young man. He was kind and good-tempered, just like his name. He performed salat, prayed and worshipped Allah just as his father had taught him. The Prophet Abraham visited him from time to time and would go with his son to the woods to gather firewood and find food. It was a day when the Prophet Abraham was in Mecca. It was after midnight and the Prophet Abraham was sleeping. He heard someone say this in his dream: "Dear Abraham, Allah wishes that you sacrifice your son Ishmael." The Prophet Abraham woke up feeling terrified. He wondered whether this dream was true or not. He couldn't decide whether the dream had come from Allah or from Satan. He was very suspicious about it. When he saw the dream, it was 2 days before the feast of the sacrifice. The next day, the Prophet Abraham had the same dream. He came to believe that the dream came from Allah. When he saw the same dream on the first day of the feast of the sacrifice, at the same time, he was no longer suspicious. This was a big test. A true friend would sacrifice anything for a friend he loved very much. Allah had chosen the Prophet Abraham as his friend. He wanted to test whether Abraham was worthy of this friendship. That was the reason why he had asked the Prophet Abraham to sacrifice his son for him. However, it would be very difficult to carry out this wish. For this reason, Allah hadn't informed the Prophet Abraham directly. He made him have the same dream for 3 nights in a row so that he would get used to the idea. After that day, it has become a tradition not to tell people bad news directly, but by comforting them first. Abraham's heart was at ease now and was ready to do the task. He only had one fear left. How would his wife and son accept this wish? Would they accept it directly, or would they refuse? There would be no problem if they accepted it willingly, but what would happen if they refused? If that happened, they wouldn't be able to escape from Allah's torment. Sacrificing Ishmael was not only a very difficult test for the Prophet Abraham, it was also very difficult for the family too. The Prophet Abraham was asked to sacrifice his only son with his own hands. Ishmael, however, was always ready to give and sacrifice his life for Allah. What was expected of Hagar was for her to be patient while her son was sacrificed for Allah. That morning, the Prophet Abraham told his son to get a rope and knife and told him that they would go to the woods together. This was something that they often did, so Ishmael wasn't suspicious about anything. They headed for the woods, taking a rope, knife and axe with them. When they arrived in Mina, the Prophet Abraham started telling his son about the dream he had had. He told Ishmael that they were going to be put through a difficult test by Allah. Ishmael didn't feel sad, worried or scared in any way about what his father had told him. Wasn't it Allah who gave and took life? The owner of life, Allah, was now asking for the life he had given back. Could there be a more honourable death than this? Ishmael was in peace while he thought about everything. He gave his father this reply: "Dear father, do whatever has been asked of you. Hopefully you will find that I am a patient person." The Prophet Abraham was both happy and sad when he heard his son say these words. Tears started falling from his eyes. He looked at his son, who had great faith with love. He was proud to have a son like him. While the Prophet Abraham was taking his son to sacrifice him, the cursed devil appeared before them. Satan tried to convince the Prophet Abraham that the dream he had had was not the doing of Allah. However, the Prophet Abraham ignored Satan's words and got rid of him. He picked up stones and threw them at him. When Satan no longer had hope in the Prophet Abraham, he started on brother Ishmael. He tried to tell Ishmael that his father had been mistaken. Do you think that Allah would wish for such a thing? He reminded Ishmael that his mother, who would be left behind, would be devastated. However, Ishmael didn't believe Satan at all, and after he got rid of him, he threw 7 stones at him. Satan, who now had no hope in Ishmael, went to his mother Hagar. He told her that her husband was about to do something very wrong. He asked her to stop him right away. But Hagar didn't listen to him. After telling Satan that her husband would never do anything against Allah's will, she threw 7 stones at him. This way, Satan was sent away by all 3 members of the family. The Prophet Abraham told his son to lay down on his right side and prepared to carry out Allah's wish. He had blindfolded his son because he didn't want him to feel any pain when he saw the knife. This incident took place in Mina, where sacrificing is practiced today. Just as the Prophet Abraham was ready to use the knife, he said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear Allah, I am doing what you have asked of me. He pulled the knife across Ishmael's neck, but the knife did not cut him. This was because Allah didn't want Ishmael to be sacrificed. With this incident, he wanted to show the angels and all humans how the Prophet Abraham and his family were devoted to Allah and how patient they were. This was a test of friendship and loyalty. The friends of Allah, the Prophet Abraham and his son, had proven to Allah that they could sacrifice even the most loved ones for Allah. They had shown their loyalty to Allah without hesitation. In other words, they had passed this big test in the most beautiful way. When the Prophet Abraham got ready to perform his duty again, he heard a noise. Dear Abraham, you have proven to Allah what a loyal believer you are. You have shown everyone that you are Allah's friend. You can stop now. There is no reason to sacrifice Ishmael anymore. Abraham then stopped and looked around him. He saw that the angel Gabriel was coming down from the sky with a ram. Gabriel congratulated Abraham and said, Dear Abraham, this breed of ram has been fed in paradise for many years, and now it's time for you to sacrifice this animal instead of your son. Abraham unbound his son's eyes with great happiness, and after taking the ram from the angel Gabriel, he sacrificed it. He thanked Allah for this kindness. Since that day, it has been a tradition among Muslims to celebrate Ishmael's salvation and to do their duty to Allah by sacrificing an animal on the same day every year. To sacrifice animals is fard or wajib, religious duty, for every Muslim who is able to do so.